All right, welcome everybody to our post-game press conference after our 80-76 win over Georgia State at the Holmes Center. We'll go ahead and kick things off with player availability. We have Myles Tate and Dior Conners. We ask that if you have a question, you state your name and affiliation, but we'll go ahead and fire with questions for Myles and Dior.
Dior, tell us about that deep three at the end of the game that was pretty much a huge turning point for you.
It was a big shot, and the play was drawn up for me, and I knew I was going to knock it down. I know my teammates had the confidence in me to do it as well, so it was really just muscle memory from there.
Is that about the limit of your range right there, or can you go a little farther?
I think I can go a little deeper. Chill, pause.
Myles, I know you had a struggle on Wednesday night. How did that impact what happened with you today?
Yeah, it was definitely tough, and I gotta have a short memory. Being playing these type of games, we got a game coming up soon, so I had to forget about that and just move on to the next game. And all my teammates just told me to move on, and they told me they still trust me. So with having teammates like that, it make it easy for me.
Did that energize you for today?
It definitely did. Them having my back, it always energizes me, man. Like even going into practice, they telling me to keep doing what I'm doing because we all want to win. So that's how we push each other.
Hey, Myles, 25 points for you today, matching your career high. And as was just asked, it was a tough performance, but just being able to bounce back like that, what does that have to say about yourself here?
I just trust in God. I know the work I put in. I keep my faith in myself. And, my teammates, like I said in the last question, they always tell me to keep doing what I'm doing because they see me put the work in. And, just having the confidence in them to make plays when they need to make plays, and they got the confidence in me to make the play. So, it's just easy for me to just play my game.
Kara Daniel, App Weekly News. For a lack of better word, Georgia State was sneaky today. They pulled out some stuff that I'd never seen before. How did you handle that?
We stayed together as a team, and whatever they did, they made some unbelievable plays and shots. But after every one of them, we told each other to just stay together, and that was our message to each other: just stay together, and we'll come out with the win. But if we would have drifted away from each other, it probably would have went another way. But we just stayed composed.
And one more thing, just for both of you, how do you expect, a win like this and a point scoring like this and rebounds with a number this high to motivate you for the next few games?
I would say it's a big motivation for us, and we need it. We practice rebounding, and we want to put up points. So I think this is a big confidence boost for us.
Yeah, like you said, we want to keep our confidence, and, we want to celebrate the win, but, we still got work to do. It's still some stuff that we can do better. And, we just going to get back to the drawing board and keep working.
Dior, almost immediately you came out and drilled 3 threes in, I think, the first 5 minutes. Was there a halftime adjustment that came out of the locker room, or was that just the way that Georgia State was defending you?
I think it was just the way they were defending me, and they were leaving me open, and so I just had to take them shots when I'm open. And, I think that was really it, honestly.
Just seeing that ball go through the basket for you, Dior, that's got to feel some type of way, doesn't it?
Yeah, it feels great. And it's really just repetition. And seeing the ball go through, once I see one, I think that the night could be hot from anywhere. So once I see one go down, I know I can make more.
Yeah. Any other questions for Dior and Myles? All right, thanks, everybody. Be back in shortly with Coach Kerns. All right, up next we have head coach Dustin Kerns after our 80-76 victory over Georgia State. We'll let him start with an opening statement and then move into questions.
Yeah, proud of our guys. Great atmosphere. Appreciate the students and the community and App Nation coming out. Every game in this league is a hard-fought win, and they are very explosive. They got 3 of the top 10 scorers in the league. They've got the leading offensive rebounder. They're just coming off a really convincing win where they led for 30 minutes at Marshall. And so we knew we had a really tough game ahead of us, but we battled through some stuff, fought through some stuff, and, proud to get the win.
Go ahead and move into questions.
How much did the game on Wednesday night have with how you guys focused on this game today?
Yeah, we moved on Thursday. Sports, especially when you're in it, right? Like there hasn't been an undefeated team since 1976. Almost
That's
50
true.
years. So my point is, like, you can't live and die by wins and losses.
Mm-hmm.
If you live and die by all wins and losses, you're going to die a lot because it's sports, right? It's college basketball. And so we didn't think we played poorly on Wednesday. We played pretty well. It's just the ball didn't bounce our way at the end. And so we reminded ourselves of that and moved on. But we also remind ourselves that every game in this league is a hard-fought battle. Every single game. And I think that you're seeing that with the standings. Right, like it's, and so that, especially when you're us and we've got the most wins in the last 6 years and Sun Belt wins at 62, I think, and that's the most in the last 6 years. So then you've got a little extra motivation for opponents, especially coming in here where we haven't lost pretty much. So like, it's basketball. I really don't think it had much to do with today because we moved on Thursday.
Mm-hmm. Myles seemed energized today after really struggling on Wednesday. That might be one aspect, particularly with his quick start, that you could focus on in regards to Wednesday.
Yeah, he's just a good player.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't play poorly on Wednesday either. He just, if he just didn't get some shots to go down at the end of the game. But if those shots go down at the beginning of the game versus but he played well on Wednesday. He's a good player. He plays well. He meets the moment, and so made some big shots, big assists. Thought he defended really well.
You did not commit a lot of fouls today, and you look at the stats: 19-10 in fouls. Some of the fouls you did commit were gimmies at the end of the first half. How much does that say about your defense today?
Well, that's part of our defense. Obviously, one of our pillars is playing without fouling, and typically when opponents play us, typically they average 7 less free throws a game, which equates to about 5 less points. And so there's layers to it. And so holding them to only 5 points from the free throw line in a 2-possession tight game was a big deal. We were up 8 there, I think under a minute. We went and doubled the basketball and gave up a 3. And so there's some things to learn from, There's some things that we can learn from, and you can obviously learn from winning.
Kara Daniel, App Weekly News. So Dior Conners scored 18 points today. I feel like his name is kind of overshadowed sometimes. What would you describe his performance as today?
He had some big shots, and Dior has been a really big part of our success recently. I think we've won 7 out of our last 9 games, and so Dior really stretches the floor. Dior, obviously, I thought he defended well today. I think that he really took pride and had an attitude about him in a good way defensively that helped us. He had some big rebounds there, but yeah, Dior is a big part of our team.
And during the back of the second half, it got really close with Georgia State. What gave your boys the motivation to really pull through and get that win?
Yeah, I just think that we've been in these battles, whether it's the preseason, whether it's in conference play, and so we've got confidence. And then I think our crowd helped us. I think that the energy in the building willed us to a couple big stops there. Maybe had a little bit to do with them missing some free throws, and so hats off and thanks to our crowd and students for helping. All those points matter, especially in this league. There is a lot of close games. There's a lot of, just it comes down sometimes just a couple possessions. And so team and community and student effort, and we appreciate it. But I think that I just think we still, once again, we've won 7 out. I think we still got a lot of confidence.
Coach, after or at halftime, you only had 2 made threes, then come out in the second half and make 6 and 9 from behind the arc. Just was there any adjustments, or was that just the way Georgia State was defending you?
Yeah, we talked about just take what they give you. Our guys are playing good when they're just out there not thinking, right? And so we were just kind of trying to move the ball, wear them down a little bit, and I think they overhelped a little bit some and gave us some good looks. Some of our threes were against their zone, and which helped us and kind of got them out of their zone. Yeah, I mean, I think it was just a matter of our guys. We just talked about taking the right shots and getting a good for great.
And coming out of halftime, I think you missed your first 3 shots, but then Dior comes back and hits almost 3 threes back to back to back, and the crowd really fires up. Just what kind of spark do you think that Dior brought today?
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, I think that those are momentum plays. They're just momentum plays when, especially when they're back to back, and and then ran a play for him to get a shot after he'd hit a couple back to back and got another one right. And so momentum plays, and I think that this crowd really erupts off 3-point makes and dunks, and certainly we had certainly some of those 40 paint points, which was big. We led for 31 minutes, but once again, it's a 40-minute game, and credit them. I think Coach Hayes and his staff are doing a really good job recruiting, and I mean they've got some they've had some injuries and things like that, but they've got some talent. And I think he's doing a good job with them.
And then to open the game, Georgia State came out, and I think they made 5 of their first 9 and 3 of their first 4 threes. When a team starts out like that, what kind of adjustments need to be made for you guys to do what you did the rest of the way?
Yeah, sometimes we'll adjust a closeout, how we're closing out to somebody. Sometimes it's just now we're going to try to figure out how they're getting the threes. Is it off of a ball screen? Is it off of an off-ball screen? Like, how are they making the threes? And then we'll adjust there. Late in the game, we switched some stuff to try to prevent some threes. And we executed it, I know, late, I think maybe on that last possession. And so it's kind of more of how are they getting them.
Any other questions for Coach Kerns? All right, thanks, everybody.
Thanks. Go down there, take the stairs.